Good evening. This is BTV, Washington, D.C. My name is Colonel Ichekuriche. With me in the studio is Mazi Nande Odegu. And online, calling in from Canada, we have Mazret N. Ibe and Ehud Achinebiri from Atlanta, Georgia. We are going to discuss this evening important and mixed of topics. Some of us still till today don't know or don't understand or they don't care to know why we need Biafra. Why are we struggling for Biafra? And why must we continue to fight for this nation, Biafra? I would ask Cousin Nandi Udogu right here in the studio. Please, could you share with our audience why you need Biafra and why we all need Biafra?
Good evening, all. Thank you, the host, Colonel Ichekuriche. My name is Nnamdi Odogwu. I am here in the BTV studio, Washington, D.C. And the question posed to me is, why Biafra, not Nigeria? My answer is this, is very clear and well understandable that we, the Biafrans, we are different from the rest of the North, traditionally, culturally, and customarily. We are the people who believe and do everything to live in harmony. We do everything to obey the rule of law, to bring happiness within our environment. We never treated anybody in any way demeaning. And that is why it's very important that we have to disassociate ourselves from the Northerners. We are not the same in any way or form. Thank you.
We have heard in his view why Biafrans, we can never live together with the Fulanese. Moving forward, I would like our sister, Mazret N. Ibe from Canada, to please tell us why the Biafrans are different from the Fulanese and why we should never continue the construction called Nigeria.
Thank you for the opportunity given to me. Now, I want to start my discussion in the aspect of culture and religion. And I'm going to be able to understand, let the world know where we are different. Because for you to be in a nation, there must be something that is common. So culturally, Biafrans are quite different from the Fulanese. We haven't got in any way any similarity in our culture. Biafra in religion, our religion is quite different. We have a history that started way over 3,000 years ago. And at least I can understand in my research a book that was written in 13 something century that was found in a museum in Italy. Biafra was inscribed in that book. And in that book, it was clearly documented that we are a people from Israel. We are Hebrew of origin. Now, I want you to know that there was a country called Herzegovina. It was made about 5 countries. When they realized that culturally, religiously, and otherwise they are not of the same people, they peacefully divided and allowed each region to thrive. And today, those countries, including Bosnia, including Croatia, including Macedonia, they are all thriving and they are working together. All of them, most of them are in EU today. So for Biafran and Fulani, there is no way we can miss. We are just like oil and water. So in my own full opinion, I believe that there is no way Biafra and Fulanis can mix together. The last speaker just told us also concerning education, how we thrive in education. Education is our main industry in Biafra land. And up north, they said they don't want education. They said education is abomination. That's the full meaning of Boko Haram. That education is haram. Haram is abomination in Hausa language. So if this is a type of attitude they have, if this is the mentality they have, when you also come for our food, food is part of culture. We never eat the same food. We Biafrans, our food is quite different in origin. We eat more of the tubers that grow right on the ground. The Fulanis, they eat wheat, their food is mainly stem from grass, because of the type of vegetation they have up there. You see, but we Biafran, our food is unique. Our food is very, very unique. So we don't eat the same food. We don't have the same religion. Most of we are 99.9% Christians or Judaism. And then our dress, the culture also is from identity of who you are, also identified by your dressing up. So in that area, we are nowhere in common. So if you say you are a people, today, when you look at Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu always tell us that anywhere you see a woman tying 2 pieces of wrapper, that is the boundary of Biafra. So if you look at the whole 5 eastern regions, 5 eastern states as they divided it, and even the 5 south, and even part of the upper Benue, and even part of in Edo State. Most of these people they tie 2-piece wrapper, and that's what makes us Biafra. You understand? So I have discussed about our education, I've discussed about religion, our food, our dress. Finally, we are in a trap. Our being in one nation with Fulani has contracted us. That's why we call it contraction. We want a breed of life. We want a new breed of life. And the only way we can have that sustained is if we stay on our own. We are blessed with both human and material resources. An average Biafran is an inventor from the day he or she is born. So we will be able to manufacture and do those things that can help us and sustain us, and not to worry that God in his infinite mercy has put in our land resources, various resources from oil, from gold and uranium, coal, name it. So being on our own is the greatest thing that can happen to Africa. And I believe that Africa will not be the same if Biafra are left to be on their own.
I will bring in Ehud Achinebiri from Atlanta, Georgia. So please throw in light here. Why do you need Biafra? Why do we need Biafra? Why are we different from the Fulanese? And why should we continue to this struggle to make sure that we separate ourselves from the Fulanese?
Thank you, Mr. Host, for having me in this holy platform. My name is Ehud Achinebri, and I work in the disaster recovery services. Yes, first of all, as per your question, what does it take for a husband and a wife to live together, to make the idea of a family, the concept of a family, the notion of a family? They had to agree in the first place. They had to dig out ways of maintaining their differences. For two people, like the common saying goes, for two to live together, they must agree. So it takes two to tango. First of all, like as many have been said, like Merry Christmas has been said in so many times, in so many ways. For people to come together, to live as one entity, they have to agree. There has to be something binding them together. Okay, is that for us to live with the Fulanis? Do we have something that is binding us together? Something like history? Do we share the same history? Do we share the same background? Do we share the same literature? Do we share the same nationality? Do we have the same blood lineage in the first place? If there's absence of all these things, there's no need. It's uncalled for us to stick together. Because as per Chinua Achebe, in the literature, things fall apart. The center cannot hold. I guess it's not things fall apart. It might be the other way around. If the center cannot hold, the things are likely to fall apart. Now, there's nothing holding us as per religion, as per system of laws. We practice conventional laws, like in the East. Up the north, the Fulanis, they came with Sharia laws. Plus, they are not indigenous. We are indigenous. The Hausas are indigenous. The Yorubas are indigenous. The Fulanis, there's no difference between the Fulanis and the British who came to colonize us. As the British left after colonizing us, they reluctantly left. They handed over power to their proxy colonizers. Have you thought about the history of the Fulanis? How they came and colonized the Hausas? So what is them? What's the difference between them and the British that colonized us? They are all equally flying the same route. First of all, and the next thing is that living with Hausas, the Fulanis per se, we cannot achieve our full human potential. Everything will be in denial because we do not run the same value system with them. For us to stick together, we must have to have same value system. We don't practice this. As a result, we get denied the essences or the essentials of life, things that make life easy, room for improvement, room to benchmark the international community. This is all absent in their way of life, in their religion, in their system of laws. So there's no headway. It's just like putting light and darkness, trying to put a square peg into a round circle. It's impossible. It's a no-no. Living with the Fulanis together is a no-go. So we must have to find our way. That way we can have future for the future of our children, offspring. so that we can dream dreams and achieve such, I say. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, Ehud. We all believe that we need Biafra. But yet, in the midst of Biafrans, our people, we have the saboteurs. We have those acting as the stumbling blocks in the process of our achieving our nation, Biafra. Last week, the Obi of Onicha decided that he is going to provide his own personal security outfit. This security outfit is not to protect the people, rather to protect the military from the hands of the alleged unknown gunmen. People like him, we have several of them in our nation, in Biafra. How do you see this security outfit put together by Obi of Onicha? Mazi Odogu.
Thank you. The question you asked me is a question that has been bugging me for a long time. And it's a question that must be addressed for us to have our nation, Biafra. But the problem that bothers me most is the people who always say or call our leader. Who is your leader? You don't have a leader. A leader is one who protects you, guides you, and fight for you. Rather, what we have is the Fulani stooges, Fulani operatives, saboteuring our efforts. So it beats my heart when I hear people saying our leader. They are not working for you. Unfortunately, our people find it difficult to understand that these people are not part of them. They want to help the Fulanis exterminate us, take our land, and they have to realize that these people have entered into a very serious agreement with the Fulanis. No matter what happened, it's just like being a member of an occult. Sometimes they ask them to give their wives or their children. They have no choice but to do that. So, these people are saboteurs, and we have to find a way to deal with them because they are not for the people. And I'm using this opportunity to tell the people, our people, that beside Senator Abaribe, all the whole people in the Congress, in the Eastern States, the governors, the Obis, the traditional rulers, they're all working for the Fulanis. And the reason why I'm saying this is for us to know that we have enemy known. And we have to do something about it in order for we to have a Biafra. Biafra is not negotiable. We must have Biafra. But we have to make sure that the saboteurs, that the saboteurs situation is addressed, because we can't continue living in this situation. Is it because of the saboteurs that this Biafra is taking too long? The actualization of Biafra takes too long. It's because of the saboteurs. In the absence of saboteurs, Biafra will be here. And that's what we are going to work on, and make sure that our enemy are our enemies.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Before I bring in our sister, Margaret Ibe, we all know that our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has been working restlessly to provide the security outfit in the absence of the efforts from the Eastern region governors. Now, we have this wonderful outfit protecting our people. But the Obi of Onicha decided he's going to do otherwise. Margaret and Ibe, please, what advice do you have for our people? Do you have for Obi of Onicha? And do you have for those who are supporting Obi of Onicha?
I'm going to answer this question by going down the memory line of what it is to be a Biafran and what our political men and women have done to us, including our Obis and our Igwes. Because we call them sabos. Sabos are just the saboteurs. And this is because in the history of the existence of Biafra, to my best of knowledge, within my age limit, I have only seen one man who is truly a representation of Biafran, and his name is Odumegwu, Chief Odumegwu. And then the second person came as if he's a reincarnation of Ojukwu in the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Onyendu. But where are our political elites? Where are our intelligentials in the space of Biafra? They are there. What are they doing? What they are doing is to marry the Hausas, to marry the Fulanis. And whatever they are doing, whether they are into a political post, or they go into politics, or they are made an ambassador, or they are made a Ohanese chairman, whatever post they have in Nigeria, it is being bought. And they bought it with either their blood, or they bought it in business juncture, or they bought it with sex, or even they bought it with what we call political alliance. And of course, we saw in the last election that many governors were signing a prepared agreement between them and Maeti Allah. For them to be governors, they will be given 1 billion by Maeti Allah. And then when they win election, Maeti Allah will come in and occupy the space wherever they are state governors. Who are we talking about? We are talking about the governors, the senators, the House of Reps, including in the assembly, local government chairmen, local government councillors, Ezes, Obis, Igwes. From the chain down, they are all representative of Nigeria as a nation. They are not in any way representing us. Can you imagine that the 5 states of Igbo governor could not come up with a single plan to float a security outfit that will keep the Igbo land safe? How on earth can Obi of Onicha be the one to float a security outfit. All of us saw the picture. Those men dressed up and the cars. Can we please ask what resources does Obi of Onicha has to float such outfits? If not that the government of the Fulanis gave him whatever it takes to make that possible. And those people that are being floated are not to keep Biafra safe. And this is the truth of the matter. So my advice to Obi Onicha is, as the Igbo people we say, wepụ aka enwe n'ofe ka ọ ghara ịgha aka mmadụ. That is, remove the hand of a monkey from the soup so that hand will not transform to a human hand. Obi of Onicha, you have no business forming a security in Igbo land. There is no history of any Obi of Onicha forming a security. Onicha has been a no-go area for many years. People are being killed. Obi of Onicha, did you form security? How many Igbo children were killed and thrown into the river? Obi Onicha, did you form the security? Obi Onicha, were you not there when the Nigerian government went and invaded the house of our leader and 29 people were killed? Obi Onicha, did you form security? Obi Onicha, even if you are not going to form security, have you for once condemned the killing in Biafra land? The Fulanis have been killing us. Obi Onicha, were you not there when we sent the Nigerian army to go to Igweocha and kill off a whole town because he doesn't want IPOB to operate? Obi Onicha has been a silent listener in every conversation in Igbo land. How did he suddenly come up with forming a security outfit if not that he was empowered by the Fulanis? Therefore, Obi Onicha, you are not representing us. The formation of this security is not for the security of the Igbo people. It is an arm transformed by the Fulanis, so that you as Obi can kill us and we will no longer talk because you are our Obi. It is formed for your own benefit, so that Fulani herdsmen, Mayeti Allah, can put millions of dollars into your account. That is all the reason why you found it.
Thank you, our sister Ibe. Maazi Achinebiri, I know you have a word or two to add to this atrocity, this evil, this saboteur, the Obi of Onicha. Yeah. First time we're hearing him, but we're hearing him negatively. What do you have to tell us?
Thank you. Once again, for that very important question. Yes, the so-called Obi of Onicha, if you can walk down memory lane, we can recall what happened or what transpires prior to this age in time. There was Zeke, with all the respect that was accorded to him. He betrayed his own people to his own detriment. There was Ifajuna, you know, the role he played during the war, with all the trust reposed on him, he messed up. There was also Awolowo. We trusted him. He was a trusted friend of Ojukwu. Ojukwu bailed him out from prison, set him free. He was in prison for treason. That means he was about to be hanged. He betrayed us. So along the line, we should ask, who is this Obi of Onicha? what importance is he to his people, to the Igbo race in general, and to that part of Nigeria they call Eastern Nigeria, which is Biafra? What role has the Obi of Onicha been playing? Obi of Onicha is a leech that he is. He is antagonizing, in other words, sabotaging. He sabotaging the cause for us to be free from those low-life Fulani idiots. Obi of Onicha is benefiting from the rowdy atmosphere, from the confused atmosphere, from the chaotic atmosphere in Nigeria. He probably was given maybe an oil well that is about to dry up by one of the Fulani emirs or whatever, the emir of Sokoto or whatever. Watch out. When the Prince Charles of England or Britain came to Nigeria and they lined up, they sat in order of royalty, what was the position, or where was the position of the Obi of Onicha? Obi of Onicha, have you seen the emirs in the north, those people you go to pay homage, that mess up your behind, in order for you to have maybe crumbs that fall off from their table? Have you seen them oppose Boko Haram, the Hizbah, the Mieti Allah, or so? They don't. So this raising of counter-clockwise or counter security apparatus to checkmate the ESN is uncalled for. Is a no-no. But like they say, agadi wine, dog, ikegeriala, yazozo. So it's time, high time. The only way to curb this menace, like Nyangwodo promised that he sabotaged the first war, that he's going to sabotage this one again. And Obi of Onicha falls in the category of Nyangwodo and the rest. Obi of Onicha need to be paid in his own coins. You know, for people to understand you fully well, if you want to address people and you want them to flow with you, you want them to understand you, you have to speak in the language they understand. So the language the Obi of Onicha and the other stooges or proxies of the Fulani oppressive machine understand is violence. So all those people, I wonder if anybody has traveled to Onitsha of recent, see the decay of that city. How, I don't know, backwards that city is. Nasty. It doesn't look like where, okay, Obi of Onicha. Sometimes you travel to England, where the Duke of Edinburgh, the Duke of this, the Duke of that, where they reside. You see how the city looks like. Can you compare Onitsha with any part in England where you have the Obis and all that in those areas? No, 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 no. Have you seen them? Have you seen them fly out to security apparatus to deal with their own subjects or objects? Probably we are your object, not your subjects. They haven't done that. And then you're doing that. Who gave you the audacity? Obi of Onicha. Who gave you the license to purchase weapons? Those weapons are poised in whose faces? The youth of Igbo land, the youths of Biafra, the youth of Onicha apparently, to kill them. This is the only thing you have purchased to give, the freebie you have purchased to give to your own people, is to join hands with the oppressive system in Nigeria. Then you have apparently pronounced yourself as number one enemy of the people. You are not. That robe that you wear around, the costume you wear around, they call it robe, does not befit you. It's hanging on you like a giant's robe on a dwarfish thief. So you need to pull that off. They need to yank that off your nasty, idiotic body. Don't worry. You will be captured. Remember, there were people like Hitler, there was Idi Amin, there was others that wielded enormous power. There was even Mubarak of Egypt. You know what happened to them? You cannot compare. So you need to rethink your stand. You are fighting your people. You are not for your people. If you are not for us, you must be against us. And we speak in the language that you will understand in times to come.
I don't know why our people, young men, you have been jobless all the while. Now they've given you weapon, giving you uniform, and you decided to fight your own people. The Yoruba nation, how they are marching forward, how organized they are. Even today's Zoom meeting they had, close to 200 of them, and yet it went so smoothly. They made the point, and they are energizing their people, also encouraging the Biafrans, especially our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has done a good job by sensitizing these people. The type of energy and strength we have seen among the Yorubas, I believe, is different from the type of energy we experienced during the Biafran War. The unity or the coherence we have today between the Yorubas, the Oduduwas, and Biafrans is quite encouraging. The question I would throw to the panel is, why is it that the Yoruba leaders are encouraging their own people in this struggle for Yoruba nation, but the so-called leaders, those serving the interest of the Fulanis in Biafra land, is not something to take home at all? Could it be that the Fulanis have more budget for the saboteurs in Biafra land than they have for the saboteurs in Yoruba land? We have seen the flag of Yoruba raised. We have not seen, unlike in Biafra land, where a governor will like to wipe down the entire village because there is a flag of Biafra. But yet, it seems they are now trying to go behind ahead of the Biafrans in achieving the Yoruba nation. What is the difference in this struggle? Mazi Ehud Achinebiri, could you please tell us the difference between the saboteurs in Yoruba land and the saboteurs we have in Biafra nation?
There's Yoruba, there's Fulani. This is a case of blind men going on a tour to describe what an elephant looks like. Some of them grow up at the tail of the elephant. And they told a story about the elephant, that the elephant they had about looks like a long rope that was tied from heaven to earth. Some touched the leg of the elephant, and they said it looks like a massive pillar and all that and stuff like that. That is the situation between Biafra and Yoruba in the struggle for independence. And the independence from who? From those who are supposed to be in unity with us. Then those saboteurs we're talking about depends on what angle, what is giving them impetus to sabotage. Now, the Yorubas already have, they have a system of government in place, like they have the Obas and all that, Then they have a culture with which they abide by. But we have been influenced by foreign values that we are not what we used to be before. Otherwise, there wouldn't have been any issue of sabotaging in Biafra land. People have different values, things that is so dear to them. Our people, like they're more inclined to worshiping the emirs in the north. The Yorubas are not more of that. And if there's a large number of our people who are sabotaging our efforts, but in the Yoruba, it's not that much large. For instance, those number of people clamoring to hold the office of the president or the presidency on our side is much in number than what you have in Yoruba land trying to compete for the office of the president in that contraption. So our people are doing things to please, to say that people like El Rufai, the Sultan of Sokoto, that they are doing their bid in Igbo land. Just like the Sarikin Tuwo Shinkafi of Imo State, that hopeless Ozodemba, and the Willie Obiano, that drug sniffing idiot in Anambra State, and Okeze Bazu, the pot belly idiot in Abia State, and the rest of them. And Wike, who thinks he has landed, he has landed. But let me tell you, all these people that I mentioned, including the Obi of Onicha, they all fall in the same category. They're all saboteurs. The Ides of March are come, but not yet gone. They need to let this sink well into their skull. So it depends. And again, in a situation like this, in a war situation, nobody is neutral. Everybody have a side. Yeah, they're supporting. So the same thing happened when the Israelis were fighting for their own freedom. They also were opposed by their own people. Even during the march from Egypt to the land of Canaan, they all even seeing the wonders wrought by Moses. They also opposed him to the extent they had to fight within themselves in the middle of the journey. That a lot of them were killed, and God stopped them from reaching the promised land. That made them to wander in the wilderness more than they should have. Even as Moses went up the mountain to get the laws and get orders from God, just like our leader now is up in the mountain trying to get orders. Now they have derailed. They want to go back to Egypt. They're molding their own golden calves to lead them back as their own God when they see the presence of God in their midst. These are the Sanhedrin who hated Jesus Christ, the Pharisees. So what we have to do is to beware of the living of the Pharisees and the Herod. These are Herods who chased after Jesus Christ. After hearing that another Messiah, a Savior is coming, it's on the way coming, they went and killed all the infants. Hence Rachel was wailing in the middle of the night, as per the prophet Joel, which he foresaw before time. So what we need to do is not to keep avoiding them, We will give them the VIP treatment.
Yes.
Very important personality treatment. Because the closest enemy in a war situation is the worst enemy. So you get rid of him first.
I mean, we have to handle the saboteurs. We have to give them the treatment they deserve.
VIP treatment.
The VIP treatment. And I would ask any churches, the Anglican, the Catholics, name it. How do you see these church leaders? Will you think you put them in the same category as those who are sabotaging the struggle? When they keep mute, when they are not saying a word. Our leader said yesterday, I believe it was yesterday announcement or broadcast, that the young lady kidnapped by Boko Haram 3 years ago has given birth to a second child. And she is a Christian. That if it was the other way around, the Muslims will not be watching a year by, second year, 2 years, and we're just making news. Oh, she had a second child because she has never and will not denounce her religion. But the Reverend Fathers, the Pope himself, our leader mentioned his name yesterday. He has never said a word about this young lady. What is your advice?
Well, coming to the pastors, everything that happens in Nigeria is all about gain. What am I gaining? And what will I lose? Those questions, they ask those questions to themselves in their inner rooms, in their mind. Well, I'm a pastor, I'm pastoring 5,000, 20,000 men and women from different states of federation. My church is in Lagos, my church is in Mbise, my church is in Owerri. If Biafra comes, does it mean that these people will no longer be part of my congregation? My tithe will not be fat, my offering basket will be empty. That is all what they are considering, and it's all about themselves and their families. So the sufferings we are going through as Biafran, they don't even see it. The same thing is applicable to the pastors, the Reverend Fathers, but I must give credit to Catholic Reverend Fathers. They have been so wonderful. They have been, in the forefront of this Biafra agitation. But the worst of it is the Pentecostal pastors, because they have churches all over Nigeria and they are thinking beyond the sufferings and the problem that all of us are going through. Nobody have ever think about an average Igbo young man who went to university, finished the first degree, do the second degree, masters. Many people that did master's degree after their first degree, go and check, 80% of them was because they could not get a job with their first degree. And then when they go ahead and do the second degree, they will be outpriced in the market. Nobody will even hire them. And you see them going to ride Okada. You see them selling bread on the market. You see them doing odd jobs. I am affected. I have over 5 graduates in my family bearing the same name with me. None of them has a job in their own field, but they are doing manual job, all manner of jobs. So none of these people are thinking about those young men. They are not thinking about today, my village, we are predominantly farmers. The Fulani herdsmen have gone ahead to destroy most of our mother's crops, our father's crops. They killed a man last year, 2020, who went to his farm. They killed him and cut off his head. None of these pastors are thinking about those men and women. I'm assuring you, in the next 1 or 2 days, thank God for ESN, there would have been a severe famine in Igbo land simply because men and women are no longer farming in their farms because of they are afraid of Fulani herdsmen. So pastors are only out. They are now competing with a private jet. It started with Bishop Oyedepo, Adeboye, every pastor, prophet, all of them. Their zeal and their motive now is to buy private jet. And buying private jet means getting more people, having so many people, bringing tithes and offering. So Nigeria to them is beneficial. To them, it is a beneficial system. They don't think about what the poor people are doing. Go to the market. Somebody called me today and said 4 cups of garri is 400 naira. That is 1 cup of garri is 100 naira. I remember the last time I was at home, for 100 naira, you have about 5 cups of garri. Things are costly. Yam is out of price. Cement, a bag of cement is 4,000 naira. How many people who can build a house? Go and price the roofing sheet. Go and price roofing. What do you mean? I mean the plank used in roofing. Everything is out of price of the common man. A bag of rice is 36,000. Whereas minimum wage is 30,000. My dear, the whole thing is all about gain, what they will gain. That is why no senator is supporting us.
Nnamdi Dogu, what have you seen in the energy behind the Yoruba movement, struggle?
Thank you very much for asking that question. I applaud Yorubas for their movement, their determination, and their focus for this very time, this crucial time. There's a saying that's, about tortoise. Tortoise said that you always listen and pay attention to what happened to other people to solve his problem. I think the Yoruba people are listening. They are watching what is happening to the Igbo people. And they're trying to avoid the same problem we are having. So that is why you see the Yoruba people coming in mass. They have learned from us. They have seen what is happening to us. And many of them don't want it to happen to them. So that is the reason why you are seeing that surge. And I know Oduduwa is coming and Biafra is coming. But before we end this note, let me mention one thing. I would like the glory be to God, and I would thank God for giving us Nnamdi Mazi Kanu. If not because of him, the Yoruba nation would have been gone. The Igbo nation would be gone. We will not be talking about Oduduwa and Biafra today. It would have been their village is being governed by the Saraki. So we thank God for Nnamdi Kanu and pray that God will give him long life and good health. And we also who are supporting Nnamdi Kanu, let me say this to the general Igbo people. There's a big mistake that I'm making when you say IPOB. Some will say, well, I'm Biafra, but I'm not an IPOB. So let me make it clear. IPOB means indigenous people of Biafra. It's just like you say, I'm a man, but I'm not a male. Indigenous people, what it means that these people are the origin of this place. They are not colonized or bring in from anywhere. They are the people that inherited the land from the time immemorial. So when you try to say, I'm a Biafra, but I'm not IPOB, you make yourself look very stupid. I'm sorry to use that word. So let it be clear to every one of you that you are IPOB. You are an indigenous people. Indigenous means that you are the origin of that land. So stop that mistake of saying differentiating IPOB and Biafra. So I think I've cleared that very point. And I would like to let everybody know this message is to the saboteurs. You know yourself, and we know who you are. But what you have to remember as a saboteurs is that evil has an end date. One day it will be over. And you will be responsible for your action and your deeds. Thank you.
Thank
the
you.
Host.
Thank you. Thank you for being here with me in the studio. BTV, Washington, D.C. We'll be coming on very often, throwing light to what is happening back home and throwing light to what is happening worldwide. The struggle is on. The dragon flag is high, flying high. We all need to support ESN. Support ESN morally and support ESN financially. Support our leader. Encourage our leader. It's not all about different ideas. He has the blueprint. If you have something better, he's able and willing to listen. Don't continue creating the discord among our people. Support ESN. We have the account number approved by our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Contribute. Millions of us, even if it was just $1, support this struggle. And God knows why he put you in this country. He knows why he put me in this country. This is the difference between this struggle and 1966 struggle. How many Igbos were in America then? How much was the exchange rate? We are the ones supporting the zoo. How many Fulanis are in this country? How many Fulanis are in other countries? Is the Biafrans and the Yorubas that is supporting that nation. If we put our funds together, Biafra and Yoruba nation will be here in a couple of months. Please, my people, if you are in this area, Washington, D.C., you are welcome to this BTV. The studio is our studio. If you have ideas, if you have contributions, we all welcome that. With me here in the studio and online, I will say good evening, and will join with us again in the next section. All hail Biafra. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.